Hello, it's Juliana here, and I want to talk about what Rainbow High really means to me on a deep emotional level, and why I've been dealing with so much rebrand grief, as I like to think of it, regarding this line. So I'm sure if you follow the channel, you know that I'm quite literally on the autism spectrum. I have Asperger's syndrome. I don't really have much of a social life in real life. I'm kind of a loner with that. And yeah, my life just isn't the most exciting or interesting or anything like that. And for me, my dolls give me a lot of the emotional support I kind of need and to function sometimes, especially emotionally. And for a doll to be a comfort doll for me, they have to be really, really special. And whenever Rainbow High was first coming out, I didn't expect it to become like a major comfort line for me because I was kind of recovering from like waiting for the Monster High Generation 1 alumni dolls and Generation 3 for that to come out. Because I really didn't like the Monster High Generation 2 reboot at all. If you read my fanfiction, The Twin Twins Conquer Monster High, you probably know my feelings towards Monster High Generation 2 reboot and why it wasn't even worth preserving even in that fictional universe at all. But yeah. Monster High was kind of the first line that got me into doll collecting as a teenager and a young adult, like full time. Because, like, the dolls were so interesting and unique. And they weren't afraid to make characters who were neurodivergent or different from others in society. And how most other doll lines mainly had characters that were like blonde hair, blue eyes, same old phenotypes over and over and over. Monster High didn't have that. Monster High was actually cool and unique and different. But then I got into Rainbow High out of curiosity while waiting for Monster High Gen 1 to return. Because at the time, there were rumors of the Skulllector dolls and stuff like that. So, of course, there was a lot of hype in the Monster High community with that at the time. But there was another rebrand people were, like, talking about a lot and getting all excited over at the time, and that was like Rainbow High. And I thought like the pictures of the leaks for it looked really good. Like these dolls were a nice return to that Monster High level of articulation. The inset eyes and the faces looked really, really good for the time. They were a major improvement over the like Poopsie slime surprise stuff that was very much cringeworthy compared to where Rainbow High is now. So yeah, to kind of show that transition there, the line went from, well, this to this. And I still remember, like, getting curious enough to see if these dolls were in, like, any of my stores and finding my Series 1 Ruby very soon after they came out. Like, I was looking for Poppy at the time, but I decided to get Ruby because, for me, whenever I have doubts for a doll line, I tend to go for the redhead dolls. Because in most doll lines with like more natural hair colors, I always go for the redheads. The redheads are some most beautiful dolls to me. And this is very much a consistent pattern, even up to this day. But despite Ruby not really being my personal style, I fell in love with her quality. I loved how soft her hair is. I loved just the quality of her clothing. And this is a doll from 2020. Look at how well she held up. Like, this is just a testament to Rainbow High's quality, even early into the line. Like, I fell in love with this. I was wowed by this. And I started a little rule, like, okay, I'll get, like, 2 per line that I like. And this kind of continued until, like, Rainbow High Series 3. Where, like, Emmy is my personal favorite in that line. And then I got, like, Heather, because I'm curious about the, like, Shadow High line, and I thought she was really impressive and beautiful. But then I saw something in the Rainbow High show that completely changed my life, that really felt like angels descending from the heavens in levels of emotional value to me. And this was seeing the Storm Twins appear in the Rainbow High anime series for the very first time. And this was before their dolls were even revealed or, like, their dolls even came out. Like, this was months before that. And I was in love. I love that they were dolls that basically were all black. That dress goth, but also classy at the same time. And, like, something that I would always loved with, like, styling myself or styling my fictional avatars was those gorgeous anime style thigh-high stockings and, like, tall boots and stuff. And they had both of that. And I was just... And even back then, like, I would, like, grow my nails out for the fun of it. Because I would get too lazy to cut them, and when I saw their nails, I was like, these are my girls, these are my daughters, I love them. Like, everything about them I related to visually, and I had never seen a fictional character so breathtakingly beautiful before. That I felt so deeply and intimately, emotionally attached to. Like them. Like, I looked at them and felt this strong sense of love and familiarity and just the kind of comfort that an autistic person only gets from a very significant personal comfort character that most other characters can't even provide. So they spend the next 2 months saving up chore money to get these dolls as soon as they come out. And I'm sure if you've seen even their past birthday videos, you know the story about how, like, I bought them on June 9th in 2022. Very, very soon after they, like, started showing up in stores, so early that someone had to get them from the back for me, and that these girls are first batch release. And ever since I saw them in their box, I couldn't stop smiling. I was so happy just to be able to see them and hold them and just feel them in my arms. And unboxing them, normally, whenever I unbox my dolls, I don't really think much about it or the feeling I get when doing it, but with these girls, I didn't say anything because it was a solemn, sacred type of feeling. like, I was just so in awe of their beauty and just everything about them, and I was just so intensely happy is the best way I could describe it. Like, I remember taking them out of their box, kissing their little foreheads after washing their hair, put them on their little stands, and just falling asleep, smiling, just looking at my girls. Because they were so beautiful. And I could sense I was getting emotionally attached to them. And I'm sure if you see how the channel is now with who the main characters are and everything, you just know how deeply attached I am to these dolls. They do not leave my side. Whenever I have trouble sleeping at night, I just hold them in my arms and hug them until everything feels okay. They help comfort me on a deep, intense emotional level that other dolls can't even touch. I remember whenever I met Anyako at Anime Fest 2025 for the first time, I was just in my riding cosplay. I had just gotten out of the hospital after having a minor health issue. After a few days, but like, I had gotten the tickets for this convention like months ago, and I was really excited to go. So I ended it. So I'm sure you know, of course, if you were there on the channel for that time, I went to the convention and I got to meet Anyako in person. I got to meet the woman who voices my beautiful, confident goth princess, Veronica. And that experience was one of the most beautiful things I ever experienced in my life. And yes, I even let Anyako herself hold my comfort dolls. And I got to tell her how special Veronica is to me and how much she means to me, and just that experience just made me love the Storm twins and their self-confidence. And it even added this strong element of kindness to them that a lot of my other dolls just don't have. Like, they've been everywhere with me. They've been by my side for so long. And I love them a lot. I love them more than any other doll in my whole entire collection. And I do anything for my girls. And it's difficult to find that doll you would do anything for. And yeah, after getting them and after like all my experiences with them and how happy they made me feel, I got really into the Shadow High doll line, where it's like, okay, I need every single one. I need to get them all their friends. And well, I guess I did very much do that. I do take one of my Scarlets off her stand sometimes, but yeah. And then I start filling in the gaps in my Rainbow High collection as well. And basically, I'm in a position where I need a lot more stands. Because I have like over 125 of these dolls. I love them. And this line, this collection means a lot to me in ways I can't even describe for my other doll collections. And for me, whenever I heard that Rainbow High was like getting rebranded and stuff, at first, I admit I had a lot of trouble accepting it. It felt wrong. It felt as sickening as Monster High Generation 2 felt for me all those years ago. Because from what I just told you, you can tell that I have a deep, intense emotional attachment to this doll line. This doll line over time became my literal personal comfort doll line that feels really familial to me, and just it's a doll line that I intensely love and would do anything for. And seeing it change like that broke my heart in ways that it's hard to describe. Like seeing it morph into a shell of its former self, into something that it isn't sometimes. Especially with the Rainbow World stuff. And yeah, I guess just want to talk about my feelings and the very specific rebrand grief I feel around this line in particular. Because no other line really makes me feel like this. And I know in Blaze's review, I mentioned the whole thing with like Mirror Me supposedly replacing Rainbow High and my thoughts on that. And well, they're incomparable. Rainbow High has a sacredness and a soul to it that Mirror Me will never ever have. No matter how beautiful it is. No matter how much these dolls are well executed and resemble anime characters. Rainbow High will always reign supreme for me. And that is a difficult thing to really change. And it's not just because I'm autistic and resistant to change either. That is just my feelings on the matter that and I have seen some people express similar sentiments to the changes with the LOMG face mold as well with that rebrand. And I do understand that. I understand if you grew up with and got so deeply attached to one doll line the way it was that it's difficult to see it change. It's painful to see it change. And you just wish you could hide away in your own plane of euthymia and wish things could just stay the same forever. If you don't know what the plane of euthymia is, it's a reference to a pocket dimension that the Raiden Shogun like lives in with her consciousness, pretty much. So basically, her consciousness resides in the plane of euthymia, so she doesn't have to deal with like changes or loss as much, and it's kind of like a coping mechanism that she learns to overcome in the game. But I guess I just want to say that seeing Rainbow High change is very, very deep and painful. to watch from me. That my love and my emotional attachment to this doll line makes this a difficult topic for me to deal with. And I guess I just wanted to address my feelings on the Rainbow High doll line and what makes this so intensely special to me, and just why I want to see this line succeed more than anything else and overcome this little slump it had with its rebrand. Because as far as we know, MGA didn't confirm anything about the Twitter rumor about Rainbow High being canceled. They didn't say anything about it. And yeah. And the schedule for lines seems to be fine because new lines are releasing as they should. Season 7 released perfectly on time, on schedule. It's even getting a new core line in 2027, and it's really, really uncertain if Rainbow High is even coming to an end with that stuff at all. But I just wanted to talk about like why it's giving me so much grief and how special this doll line is to me and my mental health as a woman on the autism spectrum, and this being my comfort doll line. Because to me, as long as the Rainbow High doll line is alive and thriving, N and V are alive and thriving, Shadow High is alive and thriving. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to mention my thoughts and how I never want my comfort doll line to end like people are acting like it's ending and all that. So goodbye, mysterious audience. I love you. And I really appreciate watching the channel. And yeah, I guess that was a video about my grief over the Rainbow High rebrand situation.